Yes, people, welcome back to the Big Steve Show. You know what time it is. It's Derby Day time. Manchester is blue, Manchester City 3, Manchester United 0. Another training session at the Swamp. I can confirm the roof is still leaking. It does stink of shit. What a day, man. What a day.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. I was confident going into it. I really was. I looked at that Man United team over the past few weeks and I said, yeah, they're there for us to get it, even if we're not at our full best. But we'll get into it all, man. It was unbelievable. The City fans, the atmosphere, everything. Proper. We took over Old Trafford yesterday, man. Those of you who watch my vlog, you'll see it, man. It was serious stuff.
Mate, I got there early. Me and FG got there early. We had to sort of sign in the media lounge, and there was quite a few people milling about like there always is at Old Trafford, tourists and that. But there was loads of people walking up to me and that in plain clothes, and I'm like getting a bit edgy, thinking, "Yeah, I'm going to be getting into it here." And they were like, "Come on, City! Come on, Steve!" And they were all in the United end, mate. There was City fans everywhere, and we got in the media section and that, and we had to walk down on the pitch. It was a little bit surreal for me because I've always been in the away end. And we were on the pitch and that Schmeichel's walking about thinking he was Billy Big Bollocks. I wanted to say something to him. Patrice Evra was walking about with his red glasses on and that. I nearly said something to him. But you got to be professional. I'm representing the club that I love. So me and FG were keeping a lid on it. But I tell you what, man, the fans at United, the tourist fans at the front. Did you see the video of the guy from like Indonesia doing TikToks? The United let him do TikToks on the pitch.
No, I'm not seeing that.
He messaged me after the game and went, "Yes, Big Steve, this is me. Follow me back." I said, "No." You know what I mean? No, I'm not following you back. So United fan from Indonesia, do one, mate. You've just been smoked and you're dancing on the pitch, you and your bird on a spacesuit on.
Fucking circus, mate. It's a circus.
Mate, it's a circus there, mate. But you know what? As soon as the team got announced, you know when you go in derbies, you usually get like nerves. Everyone gets it. Derby day, you wake up, you're shitting yourself. You have about 5 shits. You go for it. You don't want to eat now. Usually you're getting on the ale and that early doors. But this one, I was like, nah, they ain't even putting a glove on us. I just looked at the squads. And then when I got there and seen the team, I mean, what did you make of the team when you seen it? Was you as soon as you see that team, you got to think, wow, you know what I mean?
I didn't need to see the City team. All I needed to see was the United team. Once I saw that Man United team come out, I knew it was curtains. If you can't feel confident about us playing against Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire and these kind of guys, when can you feel confident? You know what I'm saying? Like it was, I knew we were so clear, and I liked the fact that he went with Grealish. I thought Grealish had an absolutely excellent. I think everybody to a man, Steve, was absolutely class yesterday. I think we schooled them. We really did school them. It was 3-0 going on 7. I think Onana made some absolutely unbelievable saves that stopped it being an absolute cricket score. But in terms of the balance of the play, We absolutely bossed them. We were 50% quicker than them to everything. We were 50% further ahead of them with absolutely everything. I was even looking at the stats. Like we were so much better than them yesterday. It was amazing. And even just going forward, I really like this midfield of Bernardo, Alvarez, and Rodri.
Alvarez,
He's a
Alvarez
beast.
really impressed me yesterday. I can see the improvement in him because sometimes I thought, you know what, we're trying to squeeze Alvarez in a game like that. They might win the midfield. I think Alvarez is more dangerous up front, not tracking back, but track back. But Bernardo Silva, one of the members of the City staff said to me yesterday that was Bernardo Silva's garden party. Bernardo Silva was running the shit. And that's how they are. And listen to this. Another member of City staff told me that when Garnacho was getting warmed up, Eric Ten Hag said to him, "You know what to do." And Garnacho was like, "Yes." And I'm thinking, mate, they are a mess, man. Imagine the City bench. I bet they were roaring, laughing the bollocks off when you heard him, Ten Hag, say to him, "You know what to do." Like he's Messi or something. You know what I mean? He didn't get a touch, mate. But listen, we took the piss on and off the pitch. The away end, unbelievable. And let me tell you this, right? I'm always in the away end. And I was in the away end yesterday. 5 minutes before I had to walk down, yeah? And to see it from the pitch, I had goosebumps on my body. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The full end was bouncing, mate. And I could see everyone's faces, the young kids, people have scarves going, people had the tops off. And it was just like, if them players don't get a buzz from that, I tell you, it was unbelievable. So I looked to my right and I've got the City end going fucking bananas. And I looked to my left and Pep stood next to me clapping. And I was like, am I in a fucking time warp here or a dream or something? Is this mad? I'm on the pitch at Old Trafford. We just done them 3-0. And this is like, it was like heaven, mate. It was just like heaven, honestly. It was
I think it is infectious, man. The players they did get carried away with it. Because did you see the video of them after in the dressing room singing "Champions Again, Ole Ole" as well?
Brilliant, mate. But this is what we had last season. We had that togetherness with the fans where
Yeah.
we all pulled together and we knew we were one. And I felt it yesterday. And I thought, with the European champions, we've come to the swamp and we've shown you what we are. So you can have your fucking pride of Singapore. You can have your big club nonsense, yeah? But you still haven't done anything on my list. And we came there and we fucking wiped the floor with you. We've wiped the floor with you. It was a footballing lesson. We were Oleing again and taking the absolute piss. You got Phil Foden, Manchester City fan, yeah? Living the dream, taking the piss. And then you've got the cheek, the absolute cheek to sing Keno. There's only one Keno. And then his son turns up, the Viking, and smashes 10 bells of shit out of you. So I don't be singing that song again because that just made him mad. You know what I mean? But, mate, what did you think of the game like when it started? And I mean, their best two chances came from our mistakes. I think Grealish knocked one back and they went through. And I think Foden knocked one back. Other than that, they didn't really create much.
No, they didn't lay a glove on us, mate. I think you kind of summed it up perfectly. We really did just take the piss. I think we knew they were fragile. We knew they were kind of on the ropes and they had no identity and they're all over the place at the minute. And we kind of went there and said, if we just play our game to a decent level, we'll absolutely boss them. They couldn't get a kick of the ball at times. Like you said, I said in the Big Six preview to it, I was like, I want to see people leaving the Stretford end after 70 minutes. Now, I had to wait till the 80th minute before I got that. But you know what I mean? Like, that just goes to show. You compare last year's derby in Old Trafford, where they were proper up for it. I was there. You gave me your ticket for the one last year. And there was a different sense in the air last January than there was, or before the game, than there was before the game yesterday. I remember last January walking to the stadium, they had a bit of belief. They believed they could possibly do something against us that day. So the noise was rampant at Old Trafford. Walking into Old Trafford yesterday, I don't know about you, mate, because you were in the stadium a lot earlier than me. I never got a sense they believed it. I never got a sense that the Man United crowd, the faithful, really believed they could get anything. And even on my flight over from Dublin, there was Red sitting on my flight going, yeah, we're on our way over to a funeral here. Like, no one believes they're anywhere near Manchester City. On
Mate,
or
when
off.
I went to Arsenal, I got loads of abuse, right? Venom abuse, yeah, of the Arsenal fans because they was having it. Like, they were annoyed at me winding them up and that. I get it. I like that, yeah? I'm at the front at Old Trafford and we're expecting a barrage, yeah? They all wanted the picture. Can we have our picture, Steve? Can I have a picture with you, Steve? And I was like, this is fucking minging, man. You know what I mean? You should be calling me a bald bastard and all sorts and do one and all that. But they want one guy, to be fair, at the end of the game, he was about 19. He was fuming. He went, Big Steve. I went, what? He went, So I just went, I give him the old Balotelli, so I give him the wink. And then his mate was going, Big Steve's taking the piss out of you. And he'd come a bit closer and he'd call me a wanker or something. And then he'd give him the wink again, the Balotelli wink again. He was fuming. And then his mate just dragged him off. I thought, he's having a bad day. But I don't mind a bit of that. At least I know he don't like me and I don't like him. You know what I mean? But
well, it should be. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, of course. But it was like you say, it was men against boys. And we put a marker down. I thought he got the selection right, Pep. I think Guardiola at left back was the better option.
Unreal.
Kyle Walker didn't go as gung-ho as he usually did. He was giving the ball to Phil and letting him go, which I've been crying out for weeks. And Dewey, we've been saying it on here, man. Get the ball in the box so that big Norwegian will get his head on it. Give him something to run at. Give him something to jump at. End of the first half, yeah? That cross comes in. He heads that. 9 times out of 10, that's in. You know what I mean?
Save. Big save.
The first goal was a penalty. They're saying to me, it's not a penalty. I said, what do you mean it's not a penalty? You literally scored a goal here last year. That was the most robbed thing I've ever seen. Rodri's running the box. You pulled him down. We should have had a penalty in the second half when Slabhead had hold of Haaland in the box. I watched that today.
I know you don't use Twitter, Steve, but I don't know, did you come across your mate Terry from the Football Terrace's tweet? He's taking a video of his TV where he's freeze framed, where we get the penalty where Rodri gets pulled by McTominay, and he's pointing at Foden, he's pointing at someone else saying, why isn't the ref looking at these? And it shouldn't have been a penalty. Like every excuse under the sun as to why it shouldn't have been a penalty. But for me, it doesn't even matter. Even if we don't get the penalty, for me, it is a penalty. But even if we don't, we still would have beat them 3 or 4-0. Because I think we still would have gone on and scored anyway. I think with the balance of the game and the balance of the play, they were never going to get near us. You can highlight individual incidents all you want, but when you break it down to the fine fundamentals, we absolutely schooled them from the Stratford end right up to the away end, north to south, whatever way you want to look at it. We bossed them. And talk about dodgy decisions. That Anthony should have been sent off. Yeah, he had an absolute swipe at Doku's leg. What the fuck's he at?
And that's not even, that was a bad one, that, you know what I mean? That was a bad one. But listen, the whole club from top to bottom is a shit show. There's no discipline there. You've got Jadon Sancho in the car park eating a packed lunch, yeah, because he's not allowed in the stadium. You've got Anthony, who fills his missus in weekly. He now thinks he's filling in Jeremy. Jeremy just told him to shut up. You know what I mean? You've got Amrabat, the Moroccan Lee Catamol, as I called him when they signed him, and I called it right. He is, in fact, no, he's not even as good as Lee Catamol. He is the Moroccan Fitzroy Simpson. So he's just literally shit. And Johnny Evans, 12 years ago, played in the 6-1 and got sent off 12 years ago. And he's now back at Manchester United in the heart of defence with Harry, I don't want to leave Man United, Maguire, because I'm on too much dough. And that is what they're living. And Onana, you know, they can call him all they want, but he's actually a good goalkeeper. Yes. And if he had anyone in front of him that he could play the ball to, they could probably pass out a defence. But they can't, because all City did was press them. Soon as they got the ball from the goalkeeper, within 5 seconds, we had the ball back. That is it. They offered nothing. Mason Mount, wow. Really? He came on. I forgot about him.
Did he play? Did he play?
He came on. Mason Mount, yeah, came on. He was dog turd.
I'm not even trolling it. I have no memory of that. I wasn't even drunk. I wasn't drinking.
7 at Man United, yeah, and he's putting in performances like that. Do you know what I mean? But listen, it's clear to see there's only one team in Manchester now. There's only one team on the up. There's only one team creating history, and there's one team living off history, and it's them. You can have all your bullshit. You can have all your, you know, we've got more fans in China. Great. We love all that. We love all that. But there was only one end bouncing yesterday, and it wasn't the red end. It was the blue end. And at the end of the day, mate, that second half, Big Earl could have finished his hat-trick. We didn't make subs till like 84, 85 minutes. Pep was mocking it on the touchline.
Didn't need to, mate. Didn't need to. Why fix what's not broken? You know what I mean? We're absolutely cruising. That away end, you're right, though, is what might be the best away end I've ever been in. I had MCFC lads couple of rows in front of me going mad. I had this foreign guy I'd never seen before in a way, and with his top off, swinging it over his head, champions again, ole ole. It was just, mate. And because I got my ticket off the club, I was in what was considered, your mate Nigel wasn't far from me either. the kind of corporate sort of area of the away end. Even that, which wouldn't usually be hopping, was absolutely bouncing. Like it was like a turning of the age kind of moment where we were just like, we are so much better than you. Our fans, we've like 2,000 City fans should not outsing 73,000 fans in Old Trafford. It should never happen. But it did from the first moment to the last. It was a special day, mate. It's up there with the 6-1s and the 4-1s and all that. Like it was a special day.
No, it was absolutely brilliant. And like you say, the Doku Grealish comparisons have all stopped. We said that they don't need to do that. Jack Grealish, Wednesday night against Young Boys and Sunday at Old Trafford, was the prime Jack Grealish, what he's brought in that team to do. He got the ball, he kept on the touchline, he dragged players out of position, he created space, he wound them up. When he needed to get a free kick, he got a free kick. Ratface on the other team, that Bruno, he just runs around whining and whinging. If that's captain material, if that's what you're proud of as a captain of your club, as a Man United fan, you want to be ashamed because he is a disgrace. All he does is run after linesmen, get in everyone's face. He done absolutely zero. Bernardo Silva was dictating the play. He had them all on strings, yeah. They didn't lay a glove on him. They didn't put a tackle on him. They couldn't get near him. They didn't know where he was. And the Jack Grealish Bernardo link up on that side won us the game. And like you say, them little dink balls into the box. Big Earl there with that goal, man. And then he said in the interview, they kept singing Keno. I don't know why, but I just used it as motivation. I thought, mate, someone slaps your dad tonight in the boozer. You're going down there and you're giving someone a crack. Years ago, they'd done his dad in that ground. He went there. He sorted them all out, mate. They won't see. And then at the end, I watched him walk down the tunnel. I was near him, and they were giving him bare shit, and he was just smiling, Erling, like proper, taking the piss, smiling as if to say, yeah, whatever, mate. We've just done you on your own pitch.
He's a proper bastard, Haaland, isn't he? Like he's a proper bastard. Were you at the game where Keno snapped his dad's knee?
Yeah.
I was there. His dad was in the concourse. I saw Alfie in the concourse yesterday. And it must have been a really proud moment for him to go to Old Trafford, where his career was close to ruined, and watch your son terminate the place. Absolutely. Like 2 goals and assist for Erling Haaland. He's got a hat-trick against him last season, don't forget, in the Etihad as well. Like he does love playing against them. He wasn't lying when he said he was most excited to play against them.
It was good to see Johnny Stones back in there. Edison made a terrific save from McTominay. We just look strong across the park. And all we've got to do now is keep that momentum going. This could be the spark that was needed to get us going. We've got to make sure we go Saturday, Bournemouth, make sure we don't drop the standards because it's thinking, oh, it's only Bournemouth. We've got to keep it going, you know what I mean? And but it was really encouraging to see the way we played and to finally get that final third moving again. You know, we said it a few weeks ago, there was nothing in the final third. We were toothless. We didn't look toothless. We looked really, really dangerous. And like you say, Alvarez as well. Alvarez's touch is improving. You know what I mean? I was very critical of his first touch for a while. There was a couple where he brought the ball out the sky there. He turned, he spread the play. And United just didn't have an answer for us. We literally had players all over the park that could damage him. And they were looking for a Rashford counter-attack. That was it. That is all they had. And once Kyle Walker stays in that right back position and don't need to go forward, they were never breaking on us. Never. And
I felt Kyle Walker. I would have been more worried about Garnacho slightly up against Walker because Garnacho, he has the tricks. He can drop the shoulder if he's on form. You know what I mean? Whereas Rashford's a one-trick pony. It's a foot race, and I'd fancy Walker with his defensive ability and his speed to lock down Rashford.
People. They've got this Højlund up front who does look like he's got a little bit of something about him. There's no service. No, the best winger they've got is drinking a fruit shoot in the car park because he can't get in the ground. Anthony's too busy wanting to twat everyone, and Rashford just runs into dead ends and shoots at the crowd. So they've got that kid up front for them. He's got no service. You know, we moan about Erling having a bit of service, but bleeding hell, man. Imagine watching that shit and watching him. That Højlund, they took him off 007, 7 games, no goals again. Do you know what I mean? But he's getting no one's giving him shit. Haaland went 2 games, didn't score, and the world caved in.
He's the Danish Danny Welbeck for me. That's what I call him, Hoyland. I actually don't think he's that great. We'll have to see what comes of him. They've hyped him up. This always happens with United signings, man. They gas them up way too quickly. Listen, we'll talk a bit more about United in a sec. Got 3 super chats to get through. Get in your super chats if you want to ask Big Steve any questions. If you don't want to hit the super chat, that's pretty cool. Just smash a like on the stream. There's 450 in the building. Great numbers. Smash a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Miro says, it ain't easy. Saeed talked too much again. Can't learn. I will say, Miro, in fairness, he didn't.
To him, didn't you, Saeed? You spoke to him. I've got to watch that later.
Yeah, I did. I did a video with Saeed after the game. It's on to the Xtra. Go and watch it. It's a pretty good video. To be fair to him now, on the Big Six and the build-up to it, he wasn't giving it. Sure, he predicted 2-0 City. He had no hope. Edward said, Big Steve, living the life you deserve it, fella. I think you do, to be fair as well, Big Steve. Man, you've been there through it all.
Good fan of the channels, Eddie. Good lad.
Big up Edward for the love, man. Miro, Gary Neville talking while did you see this?
Yeah, mate. You couldn't. You couldn't. It was chaos, mate. The media place where you go in, it's tiny. Like, I went to Arsenal the other week, and they have a media section where all the journalists go, and you get your own station. You can charge your phone, read your notes, your program notes, and that. Get ready if you're doing the media stuff. And like Yap Stamanak stood up because he ain't got nowhere to sit. You know what I mean? People are fighting over charging points. It was a bit like, listen, I'm no fucking Micah Richards. I'm not. I don't know. I'm just floating around there, blagging it. And but I knew when I looked and I thought, it's not that good in here. And then we came down on the pitch, and everything's supposed to be organised. You have your own station, and we were supposed to be at the end, and they wanted to put us somewhere else, and it was just a shit show. There was no plug for the cameraman to use stuff and all that, and it was like, you call yourself, Ibrahimovic hit the nail on the head. They call themselves a big club, but they're still charging players £1 for a bottle of water out of the wages and that. So, you know, Ibrahimovic took a water out of a hotel and got it took out of his wages. Do you see that?
No. What?
Yeah, he said Man United on the outside, everyone thinks they're a big club, but in the inside, the mentality's rotten. He said he was in a player's hotel and he took a bottle of water out of the minibar, and when he got his wage at the end of the month, they deducted him £1 for a water, and he pulled somebody, and they said, well, you know, you did have it. And he was like, I'm dehydrated, I work for you. I took a water, I'm in the, you know, I've been training or whatever. Yeah, and he charged him a nicker, mate. But honestly, mate, listen, there's nobody more happier seeing that place fall apart than me. Let me tell you that now, yeah? I ain't feeling sorry for them. People trying to get me to feel sorry. Do you feel sorry for them, Steve? I'm like, no, I don't. Because they never felt sorry for us. When our stadium was falling down and our roof was leaking and there was shit pumping out of the main road box, they didn't give a shit about us. So I urge everybody out there who's a City fan to get the foot out and squash it right in their head until they can't, until they hate you. Do that. Tell them what it is. You know what I mean? There's only one top dog in Manchester now, and they wear blue, yeah? And it's about time. Their day might come again. So what? We'll be ready for it. But milk it. Big Dave or John, who's been on the stacker truck for 20 years, giving you shit at work, don't let him off, yeah? That kid in high school who used to give you shit, don't let him off too. The postman, don't let him off. Everybody, get out there and give it him. The great Auntie Joyce, who used to give you shit when you was a kid, and you hadn't seen her, drop her a text, yeah? Just drop her in the emoji or something. This is what I'm urging now. This is the call. Do not let them get away with it. Do not let them fade into the background. We've done them in the FA Cup final. They didn't stop our treble. And we've just gone there and had a training session again at the Swamp. So make sure they know about it. That's what I'm saying. Make sure they know about it.
There you go, people, man. Let them know. Let them know. Huang here with the 10. Big up Huang says, City are light years ahead of United. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. Rory Jennings needs a slap for saying Haaland is not a big game player. Have you seen that?
Mate, listen, we know what he's about. He comes out with these statements to feel relevant, you know what I mean? It's, who gives a fuck if Rory Jennings says Haaland ain't a big game player? You know what I mean? Who cares? No one. Let him crack on, man. He's doing his thing. I'll see him on the overlap anyway next month, so we'll see what he's got to say there. I'm ready to turn the heat on him, man.
We spoke about Rory Jennings briefly. Well, not about Rory Jennings, but about his Haaland agenda on one of the panel shows recently. And I said it how I see it. The guy's got a cash cow when it comes to talking about Haaland. He knows every time he talks about Haaland, people go back to his videos to click. They like the button. They leave comments on his videos. It keeps him relevant when he says something outrageous about Haaland. So then when he scores a hat-trick or he scores twice yesterday, people go straight to send for him. It keeps the fucker relevant. So you're putting money in his pocket by interacting with that guy when he says something outrageous about Haaland. Haaland's played against United 4 times, and he now has, what is it? Hat-trick, 5 goals, at least 5 goals and 2 or 3 assists in a derby. You tell me that's not big game. I don't know what is. Speaking of the panel show, big up Martin from the Mancunian way. Manchester is blue, simple. I don't see how you can say otherwise, man. What is it, 12 years, 11 years since they last finished above us?
Yeah. Listen, it's a meltdown and we're living the dream. We're on the front row. We've all got the popcorn out and we're just living the dream, doing what we want. We just concentrate on our own shit. But do you know what? They're the only football team in the world you're not allowed to take the piss out of. You know that? You know, when City was shit and they was mocking us every week, that was allowed, no problem. You mentioned Man United now, the precious Man United, and all of a sudden you're obsessed. I'm sorry, lads, it don't work like that. When you're shit, yeah, and you've been giving out shit all your life, you're going to get shit. So we're calling it out. You're crap. Your stadium's falling down, yeah. Sorry to repeat ourselves. You've got Johnny Evans limping around at the back, who should have been retired. You've got no academy. No one's asked. It's shite. Your training ground's shit. And Man City come in there for training sessions because they don't want to damage the pitch. And the truth hurts. If you don't like it, go and support fucking Real Madrid. Simple as that, innit? Go and support the Indonesian TikToker in the spacesuit on the side of your pitch. Call that out. What the fuck's going on there? Because if I'm at City, some Indonesian spaceman comes on the pitch and starts doing the TikTok in front of me, he's getting thrown in the fucking south stand and they can deal with him. If United are doing us 3-0 at City and some spaceman comes on the pitch, starts moonwalking, he's getting lobbed. I'm sorry, I don't care if I lose my job. I ain't about that shit. It's serious shit going on here. Your club reputation at stake. And then he messaged me as well to follow him. No, it didn't happen. So if you know who he is, he's not getting followed by me.
Fucking Indian spaceman, you're not welcome in the Etihad. There you go. Aju says, watching Mark crying over the penalty. Funny. This Goldbridge chatting shit again, is he?
Usual shit, innit? He's got out to say now. He did his combined 11 and put all City in it just to get it. You know,
yeah, but I guarantee you, if we don't beat... Yeah, they are. But like you see, like if we lose or drop points in a game, in one of the big games in November, December, it'll be our Man City in crisis again. You know what I'm saying? These cash cows, man, they know what they're doing. They come up with mad headlines about Manchester City. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is yesterday we absolutely bossed them. It really, like you talk about bossing a team and schooling a team. That's what happened yesterday. There should not be a situation where Manchester City come to Old Trafford and the fans are olaying in the 75th minute. It should not happen. That should be a massive red flag for any ownership of a football club, for any fan base, any manager, and go, oh shit, this really is a crisis. And I wanna talk a bit about them now in a sec. But yeah, listen, big up everybody for the super chats, man. If you got any more questions for Steve and you want to say, get them in. 550 in the building, really good numbers. So smash the like button.
What's the likes at?
I've no idea, man. I've no idea. I can't see them on StreamYard, can I?
Make sure you hit the likes, people. We need the likes hitting up. We need to get the show going. But listen, on a serious note, you know, we've started the season okay, but a couple of blips. This is a big confidence boost for everyone. The supporters, the bragging rights is important, you know what I mean? But Bournemouth is equally as important at weekend. We know what we need to do. Looking at the squad now, Hugh, obviously we lost Gundo, Laporte, Mahrez. Are you happy with where we're at? Do you think we've got to go in January and maybe grab somebody else a bit more creative in the middle? Or, because don't forget, our best player, Kevin De Bruyne, we've not had him all season and we're still where we are. We get Kevin back. That's like a new £100 million signing that in January. If he's back in January, I don't think we need to go and get anyone, but I do think we've got to start looking somewhere down the line for somebody to at least take a bit of pressure off Kevin in games where, you know, he's getting older now, where maybe Paqueta with that deal, maybe Calvin Phillips going the other way and Cash or whatever. Do you think he go out in January and get someone, or do you think we've got enough?
I think we have enough. I think we do. I think this happens a lot with us, doesn't it? When you go through a 2 or 3 game period where you're not really finding Haaland, or it's not flowing as fluently as you'd like, and you start to go, do we need to add something? Do we need to change something? And then you go to Old Trafford like we did yesterday and put on a performance like we did yesterday, and you go, hang on, no. It's just a matter of getting the team in the right place, getting behind the team, Pep getting things right, and it'll be fine. I mean, I have made it clear on this channel that I think we're a teeny bit light when it does come to the attacking area of the pitch and creativity, and we have shown interest in signing Lucas Paqueta again. But it's actually something I wanted to ask you about, which was, have you seen these links to increasing links to Jamal Musiala at Bayern
Yeah.
Munich? There's a lot of talk now that Pep really likes Musiala. He wants Musiala to succeed Kevin De Bruyne. Musiala's not happy at Bayern Munich. Doesn't want to sign a new contract. I think Musiala in a Manchester City shirt behind Big Earl, beside Foden, whoever, it would be scary, mate.
Oh, listen, the Jude Bellingham one was the one that got away. Look at the way Jude. Nobody could have thought how Jude was going to start at Real Madrid. That's gone so well for him. He's locked in there now. That is it. They love him. He's a hero, especially after the goal at weekend. But Jamal has always been highly rated. And yeah, there seems to be little rumblings coming out of Bayern Munich that he's not happy there. Full steam ahead. We know we've got the money. We've got the plenty of money piling up there. We're not even spending the money. You know what I mean? We've got it there. If we need to go and break the bank, if people are paying 110 million for Caicedo and Fernandez, then just go and give them the dough. Give them the dough for Musiala. You've got a player for 10 years there, straight away. Player for 10 years. But Pep knows what he's doing. Like you say, he knows what he's doing. Jeremy Doku, we've not seen the best of Jeremy yet. Nunes has got a role to play in it, I think, but he just hasn't been given that chance as yet. He's got to ease himself in. You know what I mean? It could be a bit like, Kovacic has got the experience and he won't be around for too long. But I think Nunes has got a lot to play in it. But maybe Bournemouth at weekend, he might change one or two in there. But I don't know. I think we're looking all right. I'm not concerned. I'm not overly concerned about the actual squad. I think looking at the bench yesterday as well, he's got plenty of options. Young Rico can play in a number of positions, and they're the kind of players that Pep likes to have around the team where they can slot in different places. But no, I'm confident, me. I don't think we need to go in January and get anyone.
No, I think, like I said, it's about getting the players that we have right now playing to their best level. I mean, a lot of people for the last few weeks were saying, oh, Doku has to start over Grealish. Doku has to start over Grealish. And, he's our only option for that left wing that's going to be, of use. Grealish was absolutely phenomenal yesterday. It was one of his best performances for me in a Manchester City shirt. It really, really was. I thought he got up and down that line excellently. I thought he caused havoc for the right full back. You saw he was even doing reverse passes in for Bernardo Silva to run onto. That just shows what Grealish can offer when he is at his best. So if Pep can get the whole squad playing to their best, I think we have the quality and assets we need. And then you can bring Doku on, or you can start Doku like he did against Brighton, and Doku was excellent. But Doku came on yesterday, and the United players, Anthony and co, had to resort to kicking the legs off him because they didn't know what to do. They were that frustrated at that point that they'd been schooled for 75 minutes. So as far as the squad goes, mate, I'm quite satisfied with it. And as you say, when De Bruyne comes back in January, February, whenever it is, if he's fully fit and raring to go and he hits the ground running, it will feel like a new signing. It'll give the players that are already there, that have been putting in the groundwork since August, a massive lift. And go, right, we've worked hard to get this guy back and keep ourselves in the race till this guy gets back. Now let's go for it, man. So I'm happy enough.
We should go and get Sancho. Should go and get Sancho out of the car park and just bring him over here. Turn him into a proper right winger.
Would you have Sancho?
Do you know what? Just for boiling piss and the fact that we know he's a good player and Pep would absolutely make him into a monster. Yeah. But they did never sell him to us. But I think he's got a lot of issues, but I don't think there's any manager that's ever got Sancho and wrapped their arms around him a bit and said, look, put all this shit to bed now. We need you to do this. Because I think he must be sat there thinking, what's my career come to when I'm not allowed to train in the proper training building? You've got to bring his dinner out to him in the car. What the fuck is all that about? Yeah, did you see that? You see that? He's got to have his dinner in the car and a packed lunch and that because he's not allowed in the building because of safety, minor safety and all this. It's a joke, mate. It's a joke.
What?
But yeah, man, read about it. I tell you, you can't go in you're not allowed to train in the facilities and all that. It's mad, mate. It's mad. But just for piss boiling. I'd get him, and then I'd get welcome to Manchester billboard up with Sancho on it, eating an apple in a packed lunchbox just to take the piss.
He probably fucking would do it as well, Sancho, wouldn't he? He doesn't give a fuck about Man United, but I take him and I take De Gea as well to boil some blood. I take David De
Well, we
Gea.
need somebody to cut the grass, so De Gea he might as well sat at home doing fuck all. Might as well just get him on there, innit? You know what I mean? Or he could be the new Scott Carson. He just sits around there and don't do much and that, just like trains the players and that.
Yeah, we call him Spanish Scott.
Mate, it's mad, but nah, it is one of them things, you know. I'm really impressed, and I've just got a bit of a boost from it, like I say, from the game, and I just thought, yeah, I can see it now. I can see it. You know what I mean? We're under pressure as content creators. We get a lot of shit, man. Derby week is horrendous. I don't know about you, but Derby week for me, I just get abused, man, from fucking 6 a.m. till midnight off mad people. It's probably that Indonesian spaceman and his mates, mate. He's probably the one who's doing it. So that's why I'm not following him.
Facts only with a super chat here as well. Big up facts only. He says Haaland's unlucky they changed the Ballon d'Or from a calendar year to a season-based award. Otherwise, he'd easily win it. He'll win the FIFA Player of the Year, though. I think based on if it's a season-based award, I think Haaland deserves it even more in that case. I mean, I respect Messi, of course, and I respect the fact he won the World Cup, but I just find it hard to overlook, even objectively, coming into City in your first season, winning a treble, scoring 52 goals in all competitions at 22 years of age, and you don't win the treble.
I'll tell you this now. Here's one for you, yeah. Jude Bellingham will have a good season at Real Madrid this year, yeah? He ain't going to win the treble, and I don't think Real Madrid will win the European Cup. He'll be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or next year because it's Real Madrid and it's Jude Bellingham. What example to young footballing talent does this set if Erling Haaland loses this Ballon d'Or, which they've said he has done? Because to come in the hardest league in the world, yeah, from a farmers league, they said, yeah, to win the treble, and then to break the Premier League records that he did of all the great strikers that have come in the Premier League, and to not win the Ballon d'Or after that, what else do you have to do? What they should have done is, in my opinion, they should have given Messi the Super Ballon d'Or. That's only ever been won once by Di Stefano. They should have given Messi the Super Ballon d'Or for winning 7 or whatever he's won, and then give Erling the Ballon d'Or. Messi rides off into the sunset with 7 Ballon d'Ors and a Super Ballon d'Or, and Erling Haaland starts off the new generation of talent with a Ballon d'Or. That's what they should have done for me. Or if Lionel Messi's got anything about him tonight, he'd walk over to Big Earl and put it on his chair and say, yeah, mate, I've got 7 of them. You take that one and walk off. That's what I'd do.
No one Earl, he'd say no. He'd say, nah, you're all right. Keep them, mate. Unless they're going to give it to me properly, I don't want it. I didn't even know that Super Ballon d'Or was a thing.
Man. It's in Real Madrid's trophy room. When we went to the Bernabeu, we had a walk around. It's got kryptonite and shit coming out of it. It's fucking mad as fuck. It has, mate. Honestly, I'm not taking the piss. It's got kryptonite and shit coming out of it. It's mad, mate. Google it. Super Ballon d'Or. It's a monster. It's a monster, but mad. It's mad.
Yeah, well, there you go. Facts only. I think Haaland deserves it, even objectively. And Steve's right. What example does it set for kids that when you achieve the best you can, and you don't get the Ballon d'Or, it is what it is. Cameron Stewart, Man U talk crap. They need to buy a roof, not a player. It was leaking yesterday. It was properly leaking yesterday. I got soaked.
Mate, do you know I went for a piss in the away end before the game, just before you lot came in, yeah? This is true. I thought I'll nip in the away end, have a quick piss. They just started letting City fans in. I walked in the toilet. There was 10 stewards in there getting changed in the City away toilets. And I went, fucking hell, lads, is that how bad it is? You can't get changed. You got no changing room. And he went, yeah, man. They were there, mate, underpants and everything, just in the Man City box, getting the steward gear on. True story, mate. True story.
Fucking hell, man. They've no facilities to let their staff even have a staff room.
People would think you're taking the piss. I'm not. It's fucking true.
That is crazy. That is like, how can you argue with City fans or anybody like, oh, we're the biggest club, we're the biggest this, the biggest that? You can't be if you're having that shit going on. You simply can't be. I don't care what history you have. If your roof's leaking, the toilets are leaking a piss, and your staff are getting changed in the piss, you can't claim to be big anything. That's next.
I don't know who's giving out the safety certificates and all that there, mate, but it's a shit all over the place. It's embarrassing, man. And do you know what? if the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be getting called out for it left, right, and centre. But honestly, we walked in the toilet, me and FG, yesterday, you can ask him, and there was about 10 stewards there with a fucking walking around in the Y-fronts, getting the gear on. I went, you not even got a changing room, lads? No. And they were like, nah. And they were just taking, they were just laughing with us. So it's mad, mate.
Fucking hell, man. Anyways, big up for the super chats, people. There's 570 in the building. We're not even hit 300 likes, man. Get the likes up for Big Steve. I know.
You're taking the piss, man. Come on, man. We hit the likes. We need to get the algorithm moving. We need to get the algorithm moving. But nah, listen, it's always good to beat them. We know that. And I don't even want to get dragged down talking about them anymore because, listen, whenever you feel sad being a City fan, just take a little glance over the road. You know, and that's why Man City have got to keep doing what we're doing. We've always got to be improving and striving to make things better. We've always got to be doing that. You know what I mean? We can't ever let it get to that state. I feel sorry for some of my older United mates who me and we're having good banter this week, but they were saying to me the same. They were calling it out, saying, you know, it's a joke, but as long as these people and these tourists are turning up and willing to pay the money and buy the tickets and buy the £450 ones where you get to meet Fred the Red and the Indonesian spaceman. At the end of the day, if you fucking get to, if they're doing packages like that, mate, people are willing to pay it. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? When City start charging 450 quid to meet Moonbeam and some guy in a tinfoil suit, then we know yeah, we've gone, finished, club's gone, game's gone, that's it. But man,
do you think Ten Hag sees the end of the season? Saeed on his video with me yesterday says he's done with Ten Hag now, and he's backed Ten Hag till pretty recently. Like he was kind of doing his best with him, but now he's done.
There's only one man can save them now. Neil Warnock.
I thought you were going to say Jim will fix it. Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock. You've got to get Neil into the end of the season. Listen, they could go down, man. So if you want to be safe, get Neil Warnock into the end of the season, play it long, get the big Danish guy up front, yeah? Long throw-ins, bit of graft, get Bruno and Amrabat in the midfield in a double pivot, throwing a few tackles in, get Anthony getting physical on the wing. That's the only way I can see United doing out this year with Warnock at the wheel. That's what I'm voting for.
I'm going to say that in the Big Six later on. That's fucking brilliant, Neil Warnock.
You can see Neil Warnock skipping across the Old Trafford turf with a pair of brogues on when they stay up in the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And then slipping in the puddle in the dugout because they haven't fixed the roof and getting a claim in.
Oh, dear, man. But,
you've got to laugh, man. We've got to take the piss. I've had it for years, mate. I don't care.
I don't care. You're well within your right after a day like yesterday. And 10 years, like the last 10 years we just had, you know what I mean? But as far as City goes, man, I think that's a massive boost for us, you know what I mean? After losing to Arsenal, went to Brighton, good win there, good win out in Young Boys. But then to get that win in the derby, I always think is a massive boost for moving forward. And you see what it means to the players after the game, the celebrations when they come over to the corner, to the away end. And I think you're right. And you've been preaching about this for ages. If you have that connection between the fans and the players, like where you all really feel like you're pushing for the same thing, it goes a long, long way. And Arsenal have tried to recreate this themselves, to be fair to them, over the last few years. But we have it tenfold, man.
No, well, last season, that song, Something's Happening to Me, it proper resonated with everyone. And every away game in Europe, we had a good crew of lads. You was there. It was the same faces, and we were pulling together, and we got a bit of a movement going. And when they came out with all the nonsense about the charges and stuff, that just galvanised us even more. And I think we've got to realise that we are part of a special club, and we are part of a special team. And I don't think there's ever been a team that is connected to the fans more than this one. I do feel like the energy is connected. I do feel like the players really appreciate. I mean, even some of the staff, when we were doing our interview on the side of the pitch, some of the City staff were coming past going, get that away and going today, Steve. Get them all going. We need it and all that. And I love that. I mean, I can't get the away and going. The away end does itself. But the fact that they're saying to me, get the away fans going, Steve, and stuff like that. And I think that's what we want, man. You know what I mean? That's what we want. We all feel a part of it. Every single City fan in that stadium yesterday in that away end was a part of that victory. I looked round at one point, mate, and nearly cried when I seen them all doing the Poznan and that, and the way everyone was, and I thought, yeah, this is what it's about. You don't want to be in them away ends where it's soulless and the people got iPads and these people with no connection to the club just filming shit. You don't want that. And that's not me being like, oh, Steve doesn't like foreign fans are out. Not a problem. If wherever you come from in the world, if you come into that ground, you come in to support the team, not coming to film Jack Grealish's calves. You know what I mean? Because I've seen that. And that is what we want. We want an away end full of City fans coming to support. That is the difference when you're on a title charge or you're on a run, what gets you over the line. The players even say it. The fans get us over the line. Pep says it. We need the fans. He's not saying it for banter. He's saying it because it's true. And last season, when we did that treble, that is how it felt every game. We had the South Stand rocking. We had the European aways rocking. Manchester was rocking and we won the treble. We just got to keep it going, man. We just got to keep it going.
No, everything you said is true, man. I mean, the treble winning season last year, the thing I'll remember the most, just after winning all the trophies, is all those away trips. I love going to the Etihad and I love the South Stand and seeing all the same faces, but there's something about being outnumbered and you're with the same away end goers every week. You know, you're all there supporting the team. Like you said, there's not many people filming Jack Grealish's calves and that, but it's a special community to be involved in. It really, really is. And I recommend it to anybody who can get their hands on away tickets. If you can get, and if you want to get involved, do.
But even the fans online, the fans online, they're all doing the part because we're not falling into this trap where we're criticising our own players. We're not a divided fan base. We don't go on YouTube after we've lost to Wolves and all start rowing with each other. That is what we need to avoid. When you get that toxic fan base inside, it doesn't do anyone any good. And we all start arguing and he doesn't know what he does. And he doesn't speak for me. And I hate Big Steve and I don't like him and I don't like him. When you get all that shit going on, that only ends in one way. Toxic. We never do that. If we lose, we lose. We lose together. We talk about it. We get on these shows. We dissect it up and we go again. We don't need to start throwing people under the bus. We don't attack our players. We don't make agendas. We just stay together, you know, and that's what we got to do. We're getting a lot of new fans who are coming from all over the world. We've got to educate them the Manchester City way. We don't get on our players' back. We don't start slagging people off for no reason. If you want to come into this fan base, you support the team. Support is the word, and that's what we need to do. And at the minute, it's great. There's no better time to be a Manchester City supporter. These young kids coming through, they're loving it. You know, that I've seen people I'd known for 30, 40 years in the away end there, Poznanin. And fucking don't get any better, mate. Don't get any better.
No, 100%. Like I said with the treble one, you feel a part of it. I remember being in Wembley before we won the Champions League when we beat United in the FA Cup final. Final whistle went and I was nearly in tears. I felt like I'd played the season. I'd played the game because I've been so many grounds around Europe, up and down England all season to get to that stage and you see your captain lift the FA Cup for the first time in a Manchester Derby FA Cup final. And I'm sure it's no different for you in Istanbul, probably even more so for you. It's a special thing, man.
Yeah, but we deserved it. We all deserved it because we get a lot of grief as City fans. Oh, you've cheated this, you've done that. Yeah, get on with it. No problem. No problem. But listen, when your chairman comes out and does a statement and says, listen, we ain't done nothing wrong, we'll see. That just fills you full of confidence, you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, you're talking about some dodgy chairman who owns a fucking sofa business down the road and he bought Man City. You're talking about His Royal Highness and people that are associated with him. So when they come out and talk, you know, the Premier League can't even get a line straight on a VAR call. So I'm not too overly worried about that. You know what I mean? But we just got to keep doing what we're doing. We're at the top of the mountain. People are throwing stones at us. So far, so good. Keep going. But this Manchester City team and the supporters, we ain't going nowhere, mate. We ain't going nowhere. We're just going to keep on getting better. Keep on getting better. Big
up 689 says, big up guys, opinions on Liverpool. Doing pretty well. They look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, I called it on the overlap. I think since the end of last season, they've been brilliant. They're going to be a real threat. We've just got to take them seriously. We've got to make sure we've done it before. We've kept Liverpool at bay before. We've got to make sure we do it again. I think they're going to be strong. I think Arsenal are going to be strong, but Tottenham have surprised a few. I think it's going to be out of them four. Us four, should I say.
Liverpool look decent. Adju again. Hope the guy and his girlfriend saw enough City. Is this about
Yeah.
the spaceman?
Spaceman, yeah. Well, listen, he looked like he was enjoying himself. He was actually on my story singing United Road. So, it was it was comical.
Someone needs to put me in contact with the spaceman so I can get him on the Big Steve show next week and they can have it out because this.
It was a mad. Bird had a spacesuit on. She had a silver spacesuit on, and a Man United sharp Viewcam T-shirt from back in the day. And she definitely didn't have a clue about United when that shirt was out. Let me tell you that.
No, not a chance. They got Riku with the members of 5 months. He says, I'll never forget the feeling when DeMarco or whoever it was kicked the ball out of play and the ref blew the whistle. I'll never feel anything like it. What was that like for you, Steve? Obviously, City fan of a lot longer than me now because of age and that. Just to get that moment.
Yeah, it was. I've said it before. It was relief. I think Imran took a video, and I'm on it, and you can just see me with my hand on my head, smiling, and it was like that's all it was. I just wanted to take it in. I waited so long to take it in, and then to see all them City fans celebrating, and then the Sunday after it was unbelievable. Like so many people celebrating, coming up, shaking your hand. Can't believe it. So many old faces from back in the day who were smiling from ear to ear. And it was like we finally got there. It was like we was on a big journey somewhere. And it's took 30 years, but we finally got there. And no, it was memorable. And like you say, last season, I said it, I did a magazine interview for the new magazine coming out. And he's quoted me on it. And I can't even remember even saying it, but he's quoted me on it. And it said, on the Friday night on Navidade Street, I looked around, I seen Blues hanging out with windows, and I thought, fuck me, it's happening. The army is at the gates, and Manchester City are going to win the Champions League tomorrow. And that is how I felt. There was no nerves there. In Porto, people was coming up and shitting it a bit, going, oh, fucking hell, Champions League and that. But in Istanbul, people were just like, because of the season we'd had, we blew Bayern Munich away, we blew Real Madrid away, we blew United away in the FA Cup, and people were like, it's happening tomorrow, Steve. And it's weird. And that's when I knew it was happening, because there was not one grain of doubt in anyone's mind. People just coming up tomorrow, Steve, we're going to win the European Cup. And the rest is history, man.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Special day for everybody involved in the club. Yeah, listen, big up Riku for the 5 months. Anybody wants to become a channel member, there's a join button down below. And that's it for the super chats. But yeah, listen, an absolutely fantastic weekend. I really enjoyed myself. I didn't get home till about 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's always worth it when you get days like yesterday. Move on to Bournemouth. I mean, what are the fixtures saying for the next few weeks? I think we've got a few relatively winnable games coming up. We got, maybe not. We got Bournemouth, Young Boys at home. Then we got Chelsea, Liverpool, Leipzig, and Tottenham. So it's a tough few weeks coming up, Steve. But I think we've started off. We've got ourselves off to a good start, I should say, with this period.
Yeah, of course. We've, like I say, Bournemouth. We've got to make sure there's no hangover. It's all right going beat Man United and having a bit of a party this week, but we can't go and drop points to Bournemouth. And then, yeah, I think Chelsea will be a tough one. I think they're going to think it's a free shot at Man City because they're going to want to make a point. But we know what we're doing now. We just got to get that rhythm. It's all about the rhythm. The sooner the rhythm comes, the sooner we kick into gear. And I believe we're on the right track. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, me.
I'm looking forward to it too. Listen, chap, I think we'll wrap it up there. You've got a video coming out now in 5 minutes, Steve, don't you?
Yeah, there's I probably spoke about most of it on here, but my Derby Day review is out in 5 minutes on the Big Steve channel. So I'd appreciate if you went over there, get yourself a brew. You want a bit of a laugh, go over there. I think we mentioned the Indonesian spaceman again, so he's on there. If you want to go over there, and I'll jump in the comments and I'll be chatting to people. But no, I appreciate it. And listen, people, please hit the like button on this show. The boss of this channel will not. It's like a pilot season, this. It's like the first season of Friends. If it bombs, yeah, then I ain't getting renewed. So hit the like button, get the channel up, share it to your mates, go on Facebook, drop the link in. It's been a Derby Day roasting. Me and you have took the piss. We've enjoyed it. Go and share it to your mates. Even your granddad that's not really into YouTube, go around, stick it on for him, let him watch it, and tell him all about the Indonesian spaceman that was doing TikToks at Old Trafford while his team were getting drilled. Yeah. So listen, people, it's been great. That's from us. Over and out.
In a bit, people. In a bit.